Good evening, and welcome to our 5th grade orchestra and chorus concert, the very first concert for our 5th grade students here at the Ahern Middle School. My name is Cami Tadoldi, and I'm the director of music here in Foxboro, and I also teach the 5th grade orchestra, and I also do the 8th grade orchestra and some of the orchestras up at Foxboro High School. But I want to welcome you all here this evening, and just a little bit about this concert and concerts going forward from here. We love to, the music staff, you'll hear us tell you about what's going on up on the stage. Music is an art form and it's a discipline in academic subjects. So we love to share with you the learning that is happening that takes place in the classroom to get to where we are today and to get to where these students will go moving forward through their journey here in Foxboro. Foxboro has a very high quality music program with lots and lots and lots of opportunities for your students. So they're only just beginning, and we're so happy that you're here, and we're so happy that you are supporting your children through music education. So you just heard us play Pizzicato, which means that we just play with our fingers on the instrument. Learning the instrument is, there's a motor skill component to it that we're teaching, so we don't want to add too much at one time. So we always start without the bow. Everything we do going forward at this point, we will use the bow, but we teach kind of our hands independently because the left hand and the right hand have to move independently. So we train those things at the same time. So the next couple of songs we do for you will be with our bow. Thank you so much. As we move through the concert, you're going to hear that our songs get a little bit longer, and we start with familiar tunes. So songs that are very singable, a lot of folk melodies and things that students have heard ideally from childhood to this point. Because what we're doing is training the ear as well. They've had a great set of foundational skills in the elementary level, learning steady beat, learning some notation and reading notes, along with matching pitch through singing. And now we're transferring that onto an instrument. So we're taking those skills from K through 4 and now bringing them here to the stage to an instrument. So we stick with those familiar melodies. So the next few songs you hear will be familiar. The next person I'd like to introduce you to is Mr. Glynn. He assistant directs the 5th grade orchestra with me and teaches many of these students in lessons. He also teaches 6th grade band and 7th grade band and also some of our general music classes as well. Mr. Glenn is an outstanding conductor and a fine musician and percussionist, and I would love to welcome him to the stage. So this next song, we're going to do Hot Cross Buns. Again, a familiar tune. Many of them even learned this on recorder at the elementary school, so now we're learning to play it on our instrument. This song also increases our rhythmic vocabulary. So we're learning then how to continue building on our notation skills, note reading skills, and then also I spoke earlier about talking about these left and right hand independent motor skills we're developing. Our bow hand, which is the right hand, needs to learn to control itself in these different rhythmic patterns. So this one explores and expands upon that skill set. We have a little switch in the program for you. Our next song is going to be Ode to Joy. This, again, actually, we're expanding our rhythmic skill set. We're adding now long notes and some short notes and being able to understand what it means to control that with our right hand and make that happen on our instrument together. This is, again, another familiar melody written by Beethoven, so the opportunity to study a famous composer in our music history. And along with that, you'll hear that it's a little bit longer, so increasing our stamina on the instrument as well. And with that, we hope, with the song being Ode to Joy, that you have a joyous holiday season. So this is from us to you. So this last song we do for you, Frere Jacques, we're going to actually do twice. The first time we will do it just all together in unison, and then we're going to do it a second time for you in a round. So you're going to hear one group start and then the second group start. And this is our first introduction to playing in harmony, so playing in different parts. So at this point in time, up until this point in the concert, we've played everything together or unison. And then the next step for us, developing our ears orally, and then also developing our skills to play as independent musicians, is to introduce rounds. And you'll also hear the choir do this as well. This is a very standard technique across music to teach this concept of playing in an ensemble and then understanding the importance of independent parts and harmony versus melody. This is Frere Jacques. Again, we'll do it twice. So we have one more song for you. And so it's a little surprise, but this is the Foxboro Cheer. And we are going to kick this off with our bassist, Ninka. Ready? We're going to do a quick switch. For students who are in the orchestra, they're going to come on down into the choir. We'll just make a real quick transition. Thank you so much. And I'm going to hand this over to Mrs. Oberoi in the 5th grade chorus.
All right, we are just finishing getting our piano set up, but this is this year's 5th grade chorus. I love that at Ahern Middle School we allow students to both take an instrument and sing, because while they are very the same, they are also very different. Unlike an instrument, what you'll think about singing is each of these students came in with a notion of whether or not they already know how to sing because they've had their instrument for quite a long time. But what we teach here in chorus is we teach ear training, we teach notation skills, and classical voice technique to give them long-lasting voice for the rest of their lives. And in order to do that, unlike an instrument, they don't have buttons. We create buttons with a special language that we've gotten pretty good at this year, and it's called Solfege. So you might have been wondering why your chorus student is walking around the house doing these crazy things with their hands. And it's the way that we're able to tell the relationship between pitches using these syllables. So we're just going to show you a little bit of what that's like, because the first few months of chorus, we work really hard on this to train our ears, to train our voices and our muscles to do the right thing. So if I could have an E-flat major chord, Do. Can we show them what our major scale with solfege hand signs looks like? 1, 2, ready, go. And much like Miss Tidoldi was doing with the orchestra, with Frere Jacques that's a round, we can also do this in a round. So for the first few months of chorus, we work really hard on that, and we work on lining up our bodies and really listening, because this instrument is the only instrument that you can't really see. They're actually making sound where I cannot show them to make sound. So it takes a little bit of maneuvering, but after we do that for a while, we start doing some songs. And this first song that we're going to do for you is two different songs that in the end go together. And one of them is a very popular folk song, The Water is Wide. So please enjoy A Distant Shore. It wouldn't be a holiday-themed concert without a song about winter. One of the things that's really important in vocal technique at a young age like this is that a lot of the time when they're listening to the radio, they're developing the muscles in their chest voice or their lower voice, but they're not really developing the muscles to use their higher voice or their head voice. So what we've really been working on is a consistent tone from low pitches to high pitches, because actually they all have high voices, because their vocal cords are about as small as a 1/15 of your pinky nail. So their voices actually are really high, but the muscles tend to be weaker because that's not where we sing all the time. So we work really hard on that. So listen for that in this next piece, Winter Lullaby.
Fields of white in the evening light.
Along with teaching the students vocal technique and all of these things, part of what I love doing is teaching them the choral repertoire that has been around forever and ever. And the composer Aaron Copland wrote down this folk song that has been in America for a long time, and this is a really cool thing because singing has been around for a really long time, and we still do it. And I think that's really cool, and they think that's really cool, and this is a really fun song, and it's been a really fun song for a really long time. So without further ado, Chingering Cha. We end this evening with a really neat piece of music called Small Voices, and this is a contemporary composer, Jim Papoulis, who writes a lot for young voices. It's a composer that we will come back to time again in middle school because the music is just fun and it's got a really good message, and so we hope to send you away with this message this evening. Thank you for supporting your child in music here. If you ever have any questions on how you can just further support them, feel free to reach out to any of the music staff here. We are always ready to help in any way we can. And thank you. Have a wonderful holiday season. And here's Small Voices.